Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Megan. On this channel, I share my experiences as a self-published author and one who has also been trying for about 15 years, I think, to get a literary agent. Something I don't think I've shared here, at least not a ton, is that my background professionally is in writing. I've been a freelance writer for well over a decade. I built a six-figure business around blogging and search engine optimization, or SEO, and now I have a 9-to-5 job in tech where I work as an editor. So I've made a decent amount of money off of writing and editing, and I bring this up not to brag, but because I'm really good at selling my writing as a freelance writer. Today what I want to explore is, has this given me any sort of advantage as an author? Is freelance writing something you should look into if your long-term goal is to be an author, which is definitely my goal? I want to write books for a living. All right, so has being a professional writer helped me as an author? Yes and no, and I'll explain why very specifically. So let's first start with how it has helped me. First, I get to practice my writing skills almost every single day, regardless of whether or not I make time to work on my manuscript. Yes, it's a different type of writing. As a freelancer, I mostly write blogs, which is very different from writing a book, I know. But I will still argue that practicing any sort of writing benefits you as a writer. For instance, I've also played around with writing poetry. It's not really my thing, but I do think it's good to spread your wings and try new things, especially if they make you uncomfortable. A really cool byproduct of writing so much is that I've learned to write very quickly. Now, if I'm working on my book and I get stuck because I don't have the idea built out yet, that's another issue. But once I have a rough outline, I write very quickly. Another byproduct of writing a lot is that I read a lot. I know so much random stuff because I've written about so many different things. Like, it's almost weird how many random things I know. Very few of these things are actually useful, but that's okay. The second way freelance writing has helped me as an author is it taught me to be a business owner. And in my case, I want to treat my books as a business, and I'll explain what I mean by this. If you write purely for fun and you have no interest, or you just, don't really care about selling books, which is 1000% fine, amazing even. For me, I write first and foremost because I love it, which is exactly why you should write a book, because you love it. That's something I talk about in this video, and I will leave the link to that video in the description below. Secondarily, I write with the intention of doing this professionally. I want to write books for a living, meaning I want to sell books and earn a stable income from it. That's the dream. Writing is my biggest passion in life, and I know a lot of people will say, don't turn your hobby or your passion into a business because then it becomes work. I get that argument, I really do, but I want it to be a business. So I don't see that as a negative personally. And I used to coach other freelancers. No, I'm not selling any program here. And one thing I would tell them is that if you want to make money as a freelancer, any kind of freelancer, you actually have to stop treating it solely as a passion and start looking at it as a business. As a freelance writer, I learned about sales, marketing, finances, all sorts of skills I probably wouldn't have acquired otherwise. The third way freelance writing has helped me is it's given me some really cool credits that I can mention to my audience and literary agents when I send them query letters. I have no problem bragging about my writing. Writing is one of the few things I will happily say I'm really good at because I feel like I have so much to back that claim up. I've been published in Bustle, Elite Daily, The Daily Dot, Parade Magazine, tons of publications, and I've also written for some very well-known brands that sell physical goods. This was all freelancing work, but it still demonstrates that my writing is in demand and it's valuable, even if the circumstances are different. Clients weren't buying my books, they were buying my blogs. That still means something. So these are 3 benefits that I've gotten as an author out of my freelance writing, and I really believe that in various ways these things have helped me tremendously. Now, I want to be transparent and share a few ways that freelance writing offered me no advantage as an author. These are just my own opinions, obviously. First, even with the credits and the bylines that I have, I've got a really strong bio for agents, but my audience size is still not nearly big enough that my previous publications have helped me sell books. I wrote for Bustle for years, for example. I had many articles go viral. I have marketing and PR people contacting me daily, thinking that I still work for Bustle or other publications, and they want to work together. Nobody is lining up to buy my book. I have one self-published book. Number one, because not enough people know who I am, and number two, not enough of the right people know who I am. Second, while my previous experience has caught agents' attention, I've still never received an offer for representation. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't expect to be like, well, I've written for Bustle, and an agent to be like, hell yeah, let's go. But I did think that the experience I've collected and the recognizable names in my bio were going to at least tip the odds a little more in my favor. Maybe they did, and I don't see it. But honestly, if an agent doesn't think they can sell your book, I don't know how much of a difference that prior experience makes. They do notice though, that much I know. For example, I went to a writer's conference, something I talk about in this video, and I paid extra to have one-on-one sit-downs with 3 literary agents, and they were all very nice. We had great conversations, and with one of them, I mentioned that I wrote for Bustle, which I was still doing at the time, and she was like, oh my God, I love Bustle. And I about damn near peed myself because I thought, this is it. That wasn't it. That wasn't it. This woman said to me, these were her exact words, "You're doing everything right, keep going." And I was like, okay, so wanna do this thing? She didn't. I think the lesson here is having good professional experience can be a nice piece of the puzzle, but it's one piece. You still need a really strong book with a sellable idea. Third, and this doesn't apply to all freelance writers, but it certainly does to me, a lot of the work I've written for clients is what some people might consider dry, and a lot of the time, my name doesn't even go on it. I do a lot of what you call ghostwriting, which means I write the content and then the brand or an employee puts their name on it. This is very common. I was well aware of what I was getting into when I started this, a decade plus ago. I know people have opinions on ghostwriting. If this is something you want to explore, drop me a comment and I will do a separate video on it. But anyway, so my name isn't on a lot of my work, and also I've done a lot of medical and health writing, not only those fields, but that's a lot of what I do. I'm working on a blog right now about colon cancer. I've learned a ton about both writing and colon cancer, but unless it's a huge company or a publication I'm writing for, which has happened, I don't think I'm earning a ton of bragging rights there. It's been great money, so there's that. I love being a freelance writer. I also love writing books. Will freelance writing help you as an author? In certain ways, which I've shared, yes. Is it mandatory? Will it totally change your life? No. Will it make or break your chances of being a successful author? No. If you're not interested in freelancing, I do think you can still enjoy some of those benefits. If you want to get better at writing, you have to kind of treat it like school almost, or like a class. Have scheduled blocks of windows throughout the week where you sit down and you study, you write. You can use writing prompts that you find online. Try different types of writing, blogs, articles, poems, songs even. If you want to learn more about the business side of things, you don't have to have an agency like I did. Google and YouTube are your best friends. If you want credits to build up your biography, then you do have to start reaching out to brands and publications. If you just want the bylines and you don't care about making money, which that feels so weird to say, but I know some people really, they're not trying to get paid, they're trying to get the credit. A lot of websites out there don't pay their writers anyway. That's another conversation. That's a problem, but I'll save that for a different video. Anyway, you can submit content as a guest contributor and get the byline. Like I said, it's worth repeating. I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned thanks to freelancing is how to approach writing strategically, which I personally believe is important if you want to be an author for a living. And remember, if you don't care about being an author for a living, that's great too. This just wasn't the video for you. But if you're still here watching, thank you. All right, I think that's it for today. Let me know what you thought of this topic and also this setup. We've been living in this house, we're renting this house, and we've been here for 2 months, I think. And I've now set up lights, the camera, audio in like 3 or 4 different areas. And in our last house, I knew exactly where to go to get the best natural light and the best sound and blah, 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 blah. And in this house, I'm still trying to find it. So I know the quality of my videos isn't always there, but done is better than perfect. I'm not gonna let lighting or a messy background or whatever stop me from recording videos. So thanks for bearing with me. I'm also recording this after a very long work day, so my brain's probably not as sharp as it might be other times of day. Drop me a comment, say hello. I love connecting with you guys. I've met so many cool people on YouTube. There are people I've been in touch with for years now, my online friends I call them, and I met them on YouTube. So don't be shy, say hello. See you next time.